Okay, looking at completing the square. Now this is something that a lot of students struggle with, so I thought I would make a video just going through some of the strategies that I find helpful for completing the square. Now to start with, for completing the square, you do need to be familiar with the pattern of expanding a perfect square. So a perfect square is where you have a bracket and inside the bracket two terms and it's raised to a power of 2. So we've got our two basic types that we've got here. A plus b all squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and we've got a take b squared is a squared take 2ab plus b squared. So you can see that each time we've got an a squared on the end and a b squared on the other end, and in the middle we have 2 times a times b. The difference between when there's a plus and a minus is we have a plus here and a minus there. So looking at our pattern, when we've got x plus 1 squared, we know that that is going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1. When we have x plus 2 squared, we're going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4. When we have x plus 3 squared, we've got x squared plus 6x plus 9. So you can see each time I'm squaring the first term. On the end I've got the second term squared, and then in the middle I've got 2 times the first term times the second term. So 2 times x times 1 gave me 2x, 2 times x times 2 gave me 4x, and 2 times x times 3 gave me 6x. So when I have x plus 4 squared, that's going to be x squared plus, and I can put the plus 16 on the end, and in the middle is going to be 8x. When I've got x minus 2, still using the pattern, x squared plus 4, in the middle is going to be minus 4x. When I've got x squared, x minus 3 squared, I've got x squared, take 6x plus 9. So when I look at a question where I'm given a quadratic, my first step is always to look at those first 2 terms and decide what that would be if it was in a perfect square. So looking at x squared plus 6x, I would use my pattern for x plus 3 all squared. Now when I expand that out, I'm going to get x squared plus 6x plus 9. So then I look at the plus 9 here, but I want a plus 5. So to get from plus 9 to plus 5, I'm going to need to take away 4. So when I put this into completing the square form, I have x plus 3 squared take away 4. So then I know that when I expand out this, I'll get x squared plus 6x plus 9, I'll take away the 4, and I'll be left with x squared plus 6x plus 5. So each time you see one, that's what you're looking for. So another example of that might be if you have x squared take away 8x plus 5. So I look at those first 2 terms. They tell me that I would have x take 4 in the bracket squared, which would expand as x squared take 8x plus 16. Now to get from my plus 16 to my plus 5, I would have to take away 11. So then when I write that, I will have x take 4 squared take 11. So we're putting it into this form so that it looks like our turning point form, so we can sketch our quadratics from there, and we can locate that turning point easily because we've got our h and our k, and then we can go and find the x and y intercepts to sketch. That's the main reason we'll want to complete the square, is so that we've got it in turning point form to be able to sketch, and it makes finding the turning point quicker and sketching the quadratic quicker. The other times that you will be using you're completing the square might be when you're given the standard form for a circle and you're trying to find that center of the circle.